Okay, we did quarterbacks. Now it's time for running backs. A running back in every single round for the Detroit Lions. I'm going to go quick on the seventh, sixth, and fifth round, and then I'm going to stick heavy in the fourth and third round, even a little bit in the second round, because I think that's where the best meat and potatoes running backs are. There are some very good running backs in the second, third, and fourth round in this draft. So, with no further talk about it, let's start in the seventh round where we have Mohammed Ibrahim out of Minnesota. I put him in the seventh round. A lot of people grade him as a sixth round grade. I put him in the seventh because here's the deal. He's not that tall. He's 5'10. He's 210 pounds. He's not that big. He's a bruising back who tore his Achilles in 2021. He had a great PFF grade, whatever. He ran for almost 1,700 yards at 5.2 yards per carry. You just don't know if it goes to the NFL and if it meshes with that. But if you have watched any Minnesota football, which I know it's weird because I have, you would know that this guy is a good running back, that his weight and height don't say the story. He is a power back, nothing else. And he can put it to people. All right, in the sixth round, we have Israel Abanikandi, and he's out of Pitt, and this guy is a really good athlete. He ran for over 1,400 yards at almost 6 yards per carry. And he has a knack for big plays and the speed to find them. He had over 20 touchdowns. I think actually just 20 touchdowns. High end combination of size and speed at 215 pounds. The way he runs is unreal. He's a projected speed back. He can help you a little bit in the passing game. I mean, he can do a lot of these things. He only caught 12 balls, so that might not be a huge thing there. But man, oh man, he has got some speed. He just doesn't run to the size of 215 pounds. And that's why you'd hope you could get him in the sixth. There's a good chance he'll actually probably be gone by the sixth. He'll probably be a fifth, maybe even a fourth or third round pick with some of the recent testing numbers he's put up. All right, let's move into the fifth round. I have a couple of guys that I like here. Eric Gray's pretty good. Deuce Vaughn is a fun story, but he's so tiny. So one guy that stands out to me is Chase Brown for Illinois. The Fighting Illini, he had 330 carries this year and averaged 5 yards a carry. Last year, he had 170 carries, and he turned that into over 1,000 yards at 5.9 a carry. People knew it was coming. Here's the thing. I remember watching Michigan play Illinois, and I'm just like, this guy is making our defense look silly. He is a good player who can play well against the highest caliber defense around him. He's fast, but he also has a very, very strong lower body, and he's fast to the tune of a 4.43 40-yard dash. But he's 210 pounds, so he's big enough. Durability would be a question for me with him just because of the way he runs. But man, oh man, the dude has some skills. There's no doubt about that. All right, so now we can move into the fourth round, and Roshan Johnson. Sorry, I had to look down a little bit because it's kind of hard to remember every single name all the time on where I rank people. This is the backup to none other than Bijan Robinson. I'm sure we'll talk about him at some point in this, but he is a backup who did pretty darn well. He's 6'2", 223 pounds. He's a taller back, but he's a big back. He had 95 carries in 2021, 94 in 2022, 80 the year before that. The dude does not have a lot of miles on him. I love this about him. He averaged 5.9 yards in 2021 and 5.8 yards a carry in 2022. Bijan Robinson is considered to be a generational talent. A generational talent. He averaged 6.1 yards per carry, 0.3 more. All right. In the same offense. So I just want to be clear about this. Roshan Johnson is a guy that could be a bruising good back. He's solid. I like him a lot. But there's another player that I love here, and it's Tajay Spears. This guy just runs. He played for Tulane, so I understand he's 5'11", 195 pounds, but he averaged 6.9 yards per carry. I don't care where you play. And by the way, this isn't the first time. He averaged 6.7 yards a carry in 2021 and a ridiculous 7.4 yards in 2022. He hasn't ran that much. All right. A combined just a little over 300 carries in his career. Not even 300 carries. Sorry. So, or not even 400. Sorry. It's like 350. So, he doesn't play a ton, which is great. He hasn't had that. He can be a good change of pace back for the Detroit Lions. I really like what he brings. So that 4th round could be just an awesome spot for the Lions. If they want to wait to the 4th round, there are 2 guys with good talent. But if you get into the 3rd round, you have even more talent and it is even more ridiculous. And the first one we're going to start with is Devin Askew out of Texas A&M. He's 5'9", 185 pounds. He averaged the last 2 years, he averaged 6.8 and 5.6 yards per carry. He is stupid fast. I didn't realize that he has a verified 10.18 100-meter dash. It's just absolute insanity. He might be the fastest player. I watched him on tape and I thought he looked fast. I didn't know he was 4.3 240 fast. So for being a small guy, the speed more than makes up for it. He's going to be your 3rd down back. He can be a speed back, a change of pace back. Like he is going to do some very seriously good things for you if you draft him with the Detroit Lions. I'm telling you that right now. I like one more 3rd round guy, and that's Dwayne McBride, because sometimes you just got to look at people that just straight put up numbers. And he played for UAB. I'm sorry. This is nuts to me. He, over the last 2 years, in 2021, he averaged 6.7 yards per carry. Last year, on 233 carries, he averaged 7.3 yards. 7.3 yards per attempt. In 2020, he on only 47 totes, he had 9.3. Like it's absolutely nuts. Here's the thing about him. He's 215, but he runs even bigger. How much of that is just the competition that he plays at? He's more of a 2-down back. He's more of your David Montgomery replacement back. Or if David Montgomery gets hurt, didn't run the 40 or anything like that. So we don't know what his speed is. So could speed be an issue? Maybe. He didn't do a lot of testing. He's just a player. All right. 2nd round, we have 2 running backs left, and they are by far the 2 best running backs. So for the 2nd round back, we have Jamir Gibbs out of Alabama. This guy, I understand Devin Askew might be the fastest running back. This guy plays like he's the fastest running back. He's 5'11". He's 200 pounds. He runs well in any place. He runs well any place, but he really runs well in the A and the C gap. So right up the middle or outside, where he can just use his suddenness and just get moving in one direction very, very quickly. He runs a 4.36 40. He is legitimately fast, and it is just a blast watching this guy play football. It is just fun watching him. And then, of course, for the 1st round, there is one player that can get a 1st round grade, and that is Bijan Robinson. I am not as high on Bijan Robinson as other people might be. I like him. I like him a lot, but I think Jamir Gibbs could be almost as good of a player. I really do. Bijan Robinson actually averaged less yards per carry than Roshan Johnson did in 2021. And then he obviously did him this year, and he has good, what is nice about him is he can catch the ball a little bit. He can do a lot of different things, and he just makes people miss tackles and then has the speed to get to the next level. I really do believe that Bijan Robinson is like a souped up David Montgomery. He can make people miss, but he has more burst once he gets into the open field. That's who he is. That's not a bad thing at all. So, what do you think? What do you have? What grades do you have on these guys? What round would you want to take them? And of all the running backs that I just listed, who's the one that you're like, the Lions need to draft this guy? And is there somebody I missed that you liked more? I mean, I have more names on my list, but I told you one. I even gave you a couple of bonus running backs in each round. So, hey, we'll see you on the next one. And make sure you watch the draft with us live. It's coming up soon, April 27th, 7:45. Don't miss it right here. Sports Talk Detroit. Me and Chris will be live having fun with all of you. See you on the next one.